Okay, hey guys, first Napoleonics painted. I was gonna wait until I had all of the figures I bought painted, but I was honestly just kind of excited. I really liked how these turned out. Um, so this is the first Kaiser Chevauleger unit. This is the first kind of squadron, I guess, I've done. These are 15 millimeter alternative armies from Brickdust. I got these on clearance from Noble Knight Games. Now these figures, these particular figures are called Light Dragoons, but as I was researching, I'm painting for the 1809 Danube campaign, specifically the Battle of Raszyn between the Duchy of Warsaw and Austria. There was one, the first Kaiser Chevauleger unit was a garrison, I believe in Galicia, that joined the battle. Most of the Austrian cavalry were hussars, but I figured, go ahead and get these. And I got 2 command packs, and I'm a little confused about what to do with those, but I'll get to that in a minute. But I did units of 12. I haven't bought more bases from Litco yet, but I figured, because I was planning to use these 30 by 40 Litco bases. I just think this is a pretty good basing standard. But I have a bunch of these Warlord 40 by 40s for infantry left over from other box sets, and I figured, I'll just use these for the time being, because what's another 10 millimeters, 1 centimeter? It's not a big deal, especially because most Napoleonic rules are frontage matters more than the depth. So, but anyway, so this is these are the troopers. So they wore get that to focus a little bit better, I hope. There we go. So these are the troopers. Now the details were a little challenging, but I'm glad at least I could get the facing colors in there. I was able to paint the collars and all the saddle stuff. Now in the color plates I found online, the saddles looked like they were some kind of fur or like horsehair, I think. I wasn't sure, but there's a lot of you guys that are Napoleon buffs, so if you know what they were, let me know. But they looked like kind of like a white fur or something, or cloth, I don't know. So that's why saddles look like that. Now for 1809, the officers still wore the helmets. Now, but the command packs I got, I think I only got one officer figure with a helmet, so he's got the, just like I think that's a pistol holster kind of at his back. Sorry that I just did the basing, so the glue's wet, so I'm going to be kind of careful with these, but yeah, so he just has the pistol holster, so I only got one. Now, for the command packs I still have a few. I've got some of these guys in Shakos, or maybe this is a Chapka. Anyway, I should have looked this up before I did the video, but this style of hat, and it just occurred to me while I was painting, I can go ahead and use these, because if I'm going to do General d'Armée eventually, I'll just use these guys, extra guys, as Austrian ADCs, and just like mount them to like one of these bases or something, or maybe one of the slightly larger stands. And then I've got another, and it came with another guy in like that with the banner. Now this squadron I didn't paint a banner on because my freehand skills aren't very good, so maybe I could either find some decals or like print something off on the computer once I can get to a printer that's like just really small, and cut it out with like my knife and glue it on there, to have a banner. Yeah, and I did paint these because when I started, I assumed that the officers would wear the cap instead of well, this is the trumpeter, but they would wear the cap instead of the helmet, but I was incorrect after looking through some of the information. I've got another bannerman, a banner carrier, and another banner carrier. So I'm guessing these are like probably for like the earlier period, maybe. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how these turned out. You know, they were kind of challenging, I have to say, but I'm pretty glad with how they turned out. Now I do have more to do, so I got to kind of be careful. But I have the heavy. These were called heavy dragoons, but like I said in my mail video, I really can't tell the difference other than that the carbines look a little different. And someone on that video mentioned that like the heavy and light dragoon is more like a British terminology. These guys I'm painting as Austrian Chevauleger for 1809, which is the light cavalry. So I have enough to make 12 for another squadron like this, or let me wait, maybe I miscounted. 3, 6, or this is 9, 3, 6, 9, 10. So I will have a couple left over, but it's not quite enough to make another stand, because I've got another figure here, and the other stuff I've got left is just those standard bearers. So, and I thought I had another officer figure with helmet, but I don't think so, actually. And yeah, I think I must have just miscounted, because I don't see another officer character. So, but anyway, yeah, that's next. I'm going to do them the same colors, the same, Kaiser Chevauleger. These guys I primed just holding them or sticking them onto my painting handle, but just for priming, I'm going to put them on the tongue depressors, so they're a little bit easier to prime, and I get better coverage. I did these with a black undercoat, which is a change up from what I did for what I've been doing for my other stuff. I think it worked out okay. I didn't want to use a ton of like washes on these guys and make the uniforms look too dark. So yeah, I think they look okay. If maybe later I'll decide that they need more of a wash. I did put Agrax Earthshade on the cavalry, on the horses, I should say, but I left the figures mostly untouched. I did a little touch on the faces, but you can't really tell. But yeah, I'm pretty excited, pretty happy. This, I think, is going to look like really nice when it's all done. I'm just kind of doing this slowly, so this is kind of something I want to change a pace to do something, not Ottoman, not, Eastern and Central Europe related. Well, this is Central Europe related, but not my normal stuff. I wanted to try something new, so I'm pretty happy with how these are turning out. I am curious how these will compare size-wise with like the Blue Moon figures, because Blue Moon has a pretty extensive Duchy of Warsaw range. I'm not a huge stickler for, like the size differences between these different ranges. Like I'll show, for example, I did compare these guys to my Tatars, and you know, the Tatars are noticeably larger, both the horses and the men, but I think, you know, gaming, I probably wouldn't notice it too much. I was looking at the Pendraken forums, you know, it came up when I was researching things, and some people are really, seem to be really get up in arms about the differences between 15mm ranges, but you know, I mean, I'm just kind of happy that I could get these at a good deal, and like I said, they seem to scale okay. You know, they're slightly bigger, like these guys are slightly bigger, but you know, I'm not gonna worry too much about that at this point. So you know, as long as they look good, and I think they look pretty good. I was happy that they are that they were kind of what I was pretty happy also that they were just one piece. You know, I didn't have to worry about messing with the riders and all that, and then getting them glued on, and trying to get the legs to fit. So yeah, so like I said, the only thing I'm wondering how I'm gonna you know, fill out the squads for the second group, because I would like to be able to build, you know, maybe one more stand or something, but you know, if I can't, that's okay. I mean, I know Alternative Armies sells like single figures, but you know, so that is an option. I guess I could do that, just buy a handful. But yeah, anyway, yeah, that's the video. So like I said, I just want to do this because I'm excited and want to talk about it. I think maybe next, depending on, you know, what I can get and what I can afford, I might try to get a pack of infantry, maybe Polish infantry, or even just Austrian infantry. Unfortunately, on Noble Knight, I didn't see any other Napoleonic stuff on sale or clearance that would be a good deal for me right now, that would be useful for the project. They had Prussians, and they had British, I think, or no, French maybe, from this, specifically from this range. But yeah, okay. All right, I think that's enough for this video. And like I said, I think the next thing, I'll finish this other squadron, and then I will maybe paint up some of these guys as ADCs, you know, for doing General d'Armée, just to have, just to, you know, get some use out of them. Yeah. Okay, thanks guys for watching. Like I said, I'm happy with that I started this. Pretty challenging painting at first, but they look pretty nice, I think, and I can't wait to see how the whole thing will look when it's all done. All right.